Before we get into George's emotional reaction, let's remember why their relationship captured so many hearts. George Clooney wasn't just another Hollywood star. He was the bachelor of an entire generation. But when Amal Alamuddin entered his life, everything changed. Amal, a brilliant human rights lawyer known for her grace, intellect, and compassion, brought out a side of George that few had ever seen before. Their relationship was built on admiration and mutual respect. They looked unstoppable, traveling the world together, raising twins, and supporting each other's causes. To the public eye, they represented the perfect balance between Hollywood glamour and humanitarian excellence. But as it turns out, behind those red carpet smiles, something much deeper was going on. Friends of the couple began noticing subtle signs of tension months ago. George, who has always been described as charming and lighthearted, reportedly started withdrawing from social gatherings. Amal, on the other hand, appeared increasingly focused on her demanding legal career, taking on high-profile international cases that often kept her away from home. Insiders claim that the distance between them began to take an emotional toll. They were living parallel lives, one friend revealed. While Amal was changing the world, George was at home missing her and feeling left behind. Some reports suggest that arguments over priorities, career versus family time, began surfacing more often. George, who had once said he'd give up anything for his family, allegedly started to feel like Amal was no longer emotionally present. Amal, meanwhile, was frustrated that George wasn't understanding the gravity of her work. It was a clash between two powerful worlds, and unfortunately something had to give. When Amal reportedly filed the divorce papers, it wasn't just a surprise. It was a complete shock to George's system. According to close friends, he found out through her legal team after weeks of silence and emotional distance. One insider described the moment as devastating. George was in disbelief, a longtime friend shared. He thought they were just going through a rough patch. He never imagined Amal would take it this far. Sources say that George immediately tried to reach out to Amal, but she was firm and composed, telling him that her decision wasn't made in anger. It was made out of exhaustion. She allegedly told him that their connection had changed, and that it was time to accept that love alone couldn't fix what was broken. For a man like George, who had finally opened up his heart after years of keeping it guarded, this was a crushing blow. Those close to him said he's been spending more time at his Lake Como home, reflecting, staying quiet, and avoiding the spotlight. Friends of the actor have described his current emotional state as heartbroken but hopeful. He's reportedly trying to process everything while maintaining his dignity. George isn't angry at Amal, one source explained. He's hurt. He still loves her deeply and can't quite believe it's over. Another friend added that George has been leaning heavily on his inner circle, including some of his longtime Hollywood buddies like Rand Gerber. They've been trying to lift his spirits, reminding him of his resilience and the legacy he's built. But even they admit, this heartbreak is hitting George harder than anyone expected. He's not sleeping much, the insider continued. He spends long nights reflecting, looking at old photos, wondering where things went wrong. George always thought he'd found his forever with Amal, and now he's realizing forever might not be what he imagined. Interestingly, Amal's side has also spoken, and according to those close to her, the decision wasn't easy. Amal didn't want it to end this way, one friend revealed. She adores George, but she felt emotionally drained. The constant distance, the differences in their lifestyles, and the pressure of being in the public eye just became too much. They added that Amal has been focusing on her children and her work while keeping a low profile. She's heartbroken too, the source said softly, but she's determined to do what's best for her and the kids. She wants peace. It's clear that this isn't a story of anger or betrayal. It's one of two people growing apart despite the deep love that once united them. As George Clooney faces this difficult new chapter, one thing is certain. He's not giving up on love, on life, or on finding peace. Those closest to him believe that, in time, he'll rise again, stronger and more grounded than ever before. And while this may be one of the most emotional moments of his life, It's also a reminder that even the biggest stars have fragile hearts. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more exclusive Hollywood updates and emotional celebrity stories that keep you on the edge of your seat. Let us know in the comments. Do you think George and Amal's love story is really over for good? Or is there still hope for reconciliation?